Welcome back, everybody, and today we're taking a look at the latest Eureka release via the Masters of Cinema series. This is number 357 in their series, and it is 1969's Oh What a Lovely War. So this is directed by Richard Attenborough in his debut directorial effort. And yeah, I've not seen a huge deal of from him. The only other two films I've seen before that I've enjoyed has been Magic and A Bridge Too Far. So this is a satirical musical that clocks in at 144 minutes long. And yeah, to say this has a superb cast is an understatement, as there's a great many of people here. So I'm not going to go through all of their films, or any of them really, because there's a great deal. But you'll know some of them, I'm sure. So we've got the likes of Maggie Smith, Dirk Bogarde, John Mills, Kenneth Moore, Laurence Olivier, Jack Hawkins, Corin Redgrave, Michael Redgrave, Vanessa Redgrave, Ian Holm, Jean-Pierre Cassel, Edward Fox, Susanna York, John Clements, Phyllis Calvert, and Robert Fleming. And that's just some of them. There are other people in there that I might not necessarily have seen a great deal from before, but regardless, still an absolutely stacked cast there. So this restages the events of the Great War, as the film traces the progression of the conflict from the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand in 1914 to the armistice of November 1918. It intertwines the fortunes of the everyman Smith family with performances of popular wartime music, from the recruitment song I'll Make a Man of You to the airman's anthem The Bells of Hell Go Ting-a-ling-a-ling. So I'm not going to for one moment claim that I understood every part of the plot to this, but I was thoroughly engaged by it regardless of that, and the majority of this did ultimately make sense as well. What wasn't unclear in the slightest, however, were its well explored themes and its clear condemnation of the incompetence of those in charge during World War One. And it also brutally highlights how those in charge were not at all interested in how many people were going to die to get just a few yards into enemy territory. They did not care whatsoever, and yeah, that's emphasised by the fact that they've got this big board in the war room, and yeah, you can see the casualty numbers racking up, and then it says yards gained, and it's either staying at zero or barely moving at all. And yeah, and yet they still think another 50,000, another 50,000 will throw it, and that'll make a difference. And yeah, evidently it did not. And yeah, on the whole, though, the ensemble cast is also superb. The period production is convincing, as it is obviously set all during the time of World War One. The musical element works really rather well, and now that is mainly because these songs here aren't just made for the film. They are period correct musical numbers that were sung by soldiers or sung by performers on stage. And the fact that the majority of this, when it comes to the civilian part, is set in Brighton, for instance, as the Brighton Pier, for instance, plays a large role in this, really does emphasise the fact that it's using the music as a means to convey its themes and the situations that are going on. So I think, yeah, the music, even though I'm not typically a musical fan, does at least make sense with this one. The pacing is on point as well. It is well shot. There are several scene transitions that are impressively done, moving from seemingly ordinary scenes on in Brighton to ultimately then in the middle of a war. And yeah, it's all really, really well done in that regard. The ending is also highly impactful without really ever having to say much at all. As yeah, in essence, it ends with a few of the characters on a field, and they're all joined together, and it transitions then into crosses that are in this massive field of thousands and thousands of white crosses. And yeah, it's just really, really impactful because you just know that these characters haven't survived. They haven't managed to make it through this horrific ordeal, which could have very well easily been avoided had countries put aside their allegiances and their egos and just talked it out rather than just going immediately for the violent option. And there are also several laughs throughout. Now, granted, it is a film that isn't without its dark humor. Granted, for instance, there's a massive sign at the entrance to a pier saying World War One, which obviously was not the case when the Great War started. No one assumed that it would be the first of two. But yeah, it's playing on the whole idea that you know, war never is seemingly going to end, and it's always going to come back again in one form or another. So yeah, on the whole, a really, really good effort. It matches Magic and A Bridge Too Far as other Richard Attenborough films go that I've seen, and it gets a 4 out of 5. And yeah, we've got, is this new artwork or is it based on the film itself? Yeah, it's featuring original poster artwork, and yeah, really, really good artwork there. And again, it has the ensemble cast there on the bottom, as well as who produced it and the director himself. Then we got that artwork, which is based around the end scene that I talked about earlier. No reversible sleeve artwork though with this release. The poppy plays a great role in this, as it has done in commemorating the events of World War One ever since. And we also get a booklet with this release as well. And inside you get your cast and your crew. And then we also get Richard Attenborough, The Turning Point by Andy Dugan. So there he is with Maggie Smith, who doesn't have a large role in this, but she's in a very memorable scene where she's basically a dancehall performer and singing one of the songs to recruit civilians to the army cause. And there she is in that singing and dancing number. So this is actually the second oldest film that I've seen from her. There's only one other film I've seen from her that's even older than this by 5 years, but yeah, definitely a more memorable role from her at this period in her career. And the film is presented in the 2:35:1 aspect ratio, so that's how your image should look. And yeah, we have extras on the disc itself as well. So the film is presented in the 1080p HD presentation from a restoration by Paramount Pictures. They'd never release an anti-war film like this nowadays, given who are in charge of that company. But yeah, that's who has restored it. And yeah, it looks and sounds really, really great. So the 2:35:1 aspect ratio, as I said, with colour format. And yeah, you've also got original English mono audio, optional English subtitles, new audio commentary with British cinema scholars Melanie Williams and Lawrence Napper, archival audio commentary with the director Richard Attenborough, Your Country Needs You, new interview with film historian Simon Brown on depictions of World War One in British cinema from the Battle of the Somme to 1917, extensive making of documentary presented in 3 parts, Welcome to World War One, the Smith Family album, and Keep the Home Fires Burning. That documentary also has optional subtitles as well. You got the limited edition booklet as well. So yeah, a really, really great film, to be honest. And it is on Blu-ray for the first time anywhere in the world as well. So Eureka have really snapped up a classic here, because this is the kind of film I would have expected maybe Imprint or someone else to have released, particularly if they were going to do like a director focused box set. They've done that plenty of times now, and yeah, I'm quite surprised that they haven't done a Richard Attenborough focused box set, or 1 or 2 of them, in fact, to be honest. But regardless, yeah, really, really glad Eureka have released this. It's a really rather solid film. Go into it expecting more of a hard-hitting satire than just an out-and-out comedy or musical, or even a war film for that matter, because even though there are scenes of, you know, battles going on here, they aren't the main focus, and they certainly aren't on a grand scale, for instance, either. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen Oh What a Lovely War before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.